You're live.
We're live.
Hap-
Oh,
Happy Friday, everyone. It is Friday night, live with the Rhotens.
Oh, you know what? I put Gits and Shiggles. This isn't Gits and Shiggles.
Oh, that's all right.
You
That's
change
okay.
it.
Yeah, that's okay. I can change it. So it is Friday Night Live, guys. I hope you guys are having a great week. And we got a lot of things going on over here. Vicki and I are working on a project right now. You guys will see the first video on that on Monday, if all goes well. If my upload signal holds up, we'll see.
Hi, Tim. Tim Graves.
Tim Graves. Hey, Tim.
hey Tim.
So, what's new?
Well,
What's new with everybody?
Give everybody a chance to come on. Hi, Tessa.
So, what do you
Bill
guys
Ackler.
what are you guys thinking of the lives 6 days a week? Let us know if that's
This one is not supposed to be a Gits and Shiggles. I just put the wrong thing on there.
yeah, all the same.
But the super editor will take it out. He'll
We'll
make
see.
it right.
I'll try. I don't know. With YouTube, it's not as easy. YouTube is, for the lives, YouTube is just not as easy to do
Tessa
as
said
a.
it looks really good right now.
Well, let's hope that.
Jason Harrison, Michael Considine, James
Mike,
Neal,
Jason.
Brian Tyrell from
Yeah.
Ontario.
Hey, Brian. Well, thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
folks.
we're getting a few people in here on a Friday night.
That's terrific.
Thank you, Dan.
Dan Udis. Yeah. So tomorrow morning we've got a new senior moment with Dad. You guys will see that. That will be up early in the morning, and then at 9 a.m. Arizona time, which is 12 o'clock noon. Vicki and I will be doing another live, and I've got something kind of planned for that. And then we get Sunday off.
And I've got this CCP mask on that I make.
Everybody says it looks good, sounds good. So.
Good.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask if the sound was it.
Well,
all
you're
right?
muffled, but
Is
it's
it
good.
a little muffled?
Well, you are. You're behind a mask.
Well, yeah, but how about the sound? Is it?
Sound is good.
Yeah.
Everybody's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
well, I realize I'm a little muffled, but I've always been
That
a
was
little muffled.
supposed to be funny.
Yeah. No. No, you sound good. Well, that's
Okay.
good. So we're gonna go. We're gonna got a couple little demos going. You could probably guess what Dad's demo is about.
Mine's
Um,
going to be about this little CCP mask that I'm making.
Okay. Well, before we do that, we are gonna do a giveaway. Vicky's gonna ask a trivia question, and we've got a 2X green sawdust makes me happy. I like it. I really like the green.
Rick Madison said, "Hi from Communist California." Hi,
Hey,
Aunt Renee.
Rick. Nat Monet's on. Hi, sis. Anyway, so Vicky's going to be asking a very important trivia question later on, so somebody will win that shirt. So, Dad, take it away. Let's see what you got
All
going
right,
here.
well, what I want to do is go over fairly slowly
Okay,
here.
I'm sorry, Dave. I know you want to wear the mask and everything, but you're muffled.
So talk
and I
up.
don't know. You guys, can you understand what Dave's saying? With the mask on? Yeah, maybe put
You
it
know what?
closer to
There
him.
we go. Yeah, no, I'll just put it right here.
Put it on his shirt. That way he's kind of, no, up by his collar. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's better.
if you can hear me better now. So anyway, I just wanted to go over this mask that I make. And as you know, I cut these on my laser. And this is what they look like when they come off of the laser. This is, I cut this shape. Of course, I put this little Made in the USA sticker on there. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how I make them, and I put them together, and so that you can get an idea if you're gonna, if you're gonna use them or buy them or sell them or whatever, you can get an idea of how they go together. So I'll start off with the magnets. Now I put them on this hat with magnets, and this is a magnet that I use. Can you see this all right,
Yeah,
Vic?
I can see it.
So this this magnet has two little tabs that come off of it. It's actually a magnetic button.
Put it in your hand like that again.
It's actually a magnetic button, but it works out real well for what I do. And I'm going to show you just how I use it. So
this is really a revised version of your first versions that we showed a week or so ago.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. The first version was not a disaster, but because of the way I made them with the little pin and the little tack and the pin, they came apart. And I was using a special glue to glue that tack on to the back of the magnet, and they didn't hold.
Okay.
So after I shipped the first few out, I found out that I needed to revise it. So here's what I did. I've got these magnets, and I made this little assembly, and I put each one of these in a little place that I made there. Excuse me while I touch my face. And what I do is this is made up with two little holes so that it just fits on this piece. So now I've got the two prongs on each one of those pins showing through. Now this is a piece of aluminum. I chose a little aluminum bar simply because it's not magnetic. If I tried to bend these over with a piece of steel, you know what would happen, they would attach to it. So what I do is I bend these over like this with this piece of aluminum. And then I have a little plastic hammer that there's going to be a little loud now. I just tap this. All I do is just tap it to kind of seat it in there. And then I have a little disclaimer. It's just a little note that I like to put on each one, and you'll see what it is. Can you see that?
No, I'm not even going to try to focus because of the focus.
Well, it just says that there may be a small amount of residue left from assembly and from the laser, and it can be easily cleaned off, and this is how to do it. It just gives you little instructions on how to do it. And what I've got here, I don't have the big box, but these are glue dots. These are little dots of glue. And what I do is I put a glue dot, and I'll tell you why I do it this way. Now there's a little dot of glue on that piece of paper. Then I take this little message, put it on and touch that glue dot. Now I could put the glue dot on the plastic, but it would leave residue, and I don't want to do that. You'd have to scratch it off. I don't want you to have to scratch it off. With this way, with using a little Post-it pad, it'll just peel right off. So once I get it to this point, then I turn it over, and now I've got the magnets. Now, when I get into final production, these are small magnets. In final production, I'll have magnets 3/4 of an inch in diameter, the same size as this. I don't have them all magnets instead of one of the big ones. And so here's what I do is I peel off, put it on there, and I put two of these on each one of these magnets.
These magnets come with these spacers in between, huh?
Yeah, they come with the spacers, but the bigger magnets, the ones that when I get in production, they won't have those spacers. These small ones do.
Okay.
And so literally, this is ready to mount now on a cap. And what I do is when I'm assembling them, I put them there. So this is a package of 5. Now, as far as the assembling them on the cap, as most of you know, baseball caps have these bands inside of the cap. And what I do is on these magnets, whether the two of the small ones or one of the bigger ones,
stick it to your scissors.
what I do is I pull those magnets off of the shield itself, which is what I've got in my hand here. So now this is
Feed it on. Yeah.
this is completely separate now. And so what I do, just like I showed in the earlier video, I pull this on the,
I think that was your big. That was your big magnet that holds your pencil. I think.
Oh,
is what
okay.
That sound was.
yeah, that was my big magnet. So anyway, what I do is I get this right on the center line, and then this is a double magnet, just like I put on that, and I put it inside of the cap on the center line, and this one with the still pulled back, I put that there so that it holds that one. This one,
Pretty self-explanatory.
yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, and it's fairly simple, but I just wanted to go over this. And then I just fold that back,
And there it
and
is.
that's a done deal. And that's the way you put them together. It takes about a minute, and just almost no time at all, and it just makes a nice shield. So I just wanted to let you know how I do this. And I'm not quite in production yet. I'm still waiting for more magnets. This is the last of my magnets here. I shipped quite a few out today, but I've got more coming in early in the week, and probably by the middle of the week I'll have all of the orders out of here.
They're
So
called Dave's Face Shields.
And
yeah.
what's the price on them, Dad?
I'm selling them in packages, and the reason I'm selling it as a pack of 5 is because they're so light and they're cheap. But I want to ship them shipping free. So I figured if I put them in a pack of 5 for $19.95, that's
$4 a piece.
roughly $4 a piece
Right. Free ship.
with free shipping.
Yeah.
And it costs quite a bit just to ship 5 of these. So if a package of 5 is $19.95, then I can make a package of 10 for $35. And that just you can either buy 5 of them or you can buy 10 of them.
Okay. And how do they, as far as if they want to order them, how do they do
Right
it
now
right
they
now?
have to call me because they're not on the website, and I can't put them on the website till the office is done
Yeah.
and my computer's hooked back up. So you have to call.
I will be listing them on some of the platforms online, like on Amazon and eBay and Etsy. I will be listing them. I've got some pictures to take and some descriptions to write and so on. So
Yes, Michael.
after our viewers, our customers are listing them and selling them as an item for sale.
Yes, Frank,
Okay.
I still have your order. They'll go out next week once Dave gets the magnets and everything taken care of. It's all worked up. I just have
Yeah,
to
they've
punch your
assured me.
card or-
I contacted
anything
the
yet.
magnet company, and they assured me that I'll have the magnets probably Monday, maybe tomorrow, but probably Monday, Tuesday at the latest. So I'll be in production. I've got a lot of the shields made. I've got my laser set up and running. So it'll be something
Ray
that's
Lawrence says this is a cool shield. It's a fair price for the product, especially if it saves you a $10,000 bill at the ER.
right.
All
I'm
American made, just like everything, everything we do, American made. So,
made in the U.S. of A. I'm going
Okay.
to stand up and move this stuff off the table.
You don't need to move it, Dave. It's fine.
I think it's
It's
okay.
fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, as long as it's not in the way.
Yeah, I think it's all right. All right, so I am going to answer a question, and this is actually a question that I don't think I've ever had before, which is really unusual. So Richard says, a quick question relating to sanding sealer. If the board is wet and needs drying out, do you still put the sanding sealer on straight away, or do you wait till it's dried out? So, in regards to that, he says, in videos that I've seen you do, you put the sanding sealer on the pine as soon as you get home. But I wasn't sure if I was supposed to put it on while the boards were still wet. The only pine I have available to me is soaking wet, unless I pay a lot for extra premium pine. So that's just a question that I never got before. The pine, the select pine that I get is perfectly dry. It's already exactly how I want it. And again, the sanding sealer is only used on pine for me. That's the only time I use the sanding sealer, to avoid the bleeding of the black spray. So I generally put the sanding sealer on my pine as soon as I get it back, as soon as I get home with it, just so I don't forget to do it. So every piece of pine that I have has sanding sealer on it. So, and somebody will ask, well, what kind of sanding sealer? So I went ahead and brought in the can. That was something.
Your cup and
there's
it's
my cup.
leaking.
Is it? Sorry about that, guys. Not too much though. There's the sanding sealer that I use. Minwax water-based sanding sealer, works really good. So that's the sanding sealer I've been using for several years. You can brush it on. You can put it on with a rag. I generally use a critter sprayer to do it, but it works real. That was my Vikings cup, but it's still working. Anywho, so do you put the sanding sealer on if it's wet? I would say I'm not an expert, and I don't even play an expert on TV as far as being a wood expert. However, if it was my guess, I would let your pine dry out before you put your sanding sealer on. You need that moisture to leave the board. If you put sanding sealer on it, it seals it up and won't allow that moisture to escape from the board. That would be my advice. Whether that's correct or not, I'll leave that to you. But my advice is let that material dry out. The pine that I get's already dry, so I just don't have that issue. But I would let it dry out, then put your sanding sealer on. Now, as it dries out, like I do with the cedar, I would put it up, depending on how many you have, I would definitely put it on stickers, put weight on top, so as it dries out, it won't cup or warp on you. Keep weight on that thing as it's drying out.
Renee wants to know, does the brush-on sealer sand off better than the spray can?
Does the brush-on sealer sand off better than the spray can? Is that what the question is?
That's your sister, yeah.
Probably not. Probably the brush-on, it will go on heavier than if you're using a spray can, so it probably won't sand off as easy as it would be if you used a spray can, but the spray can's pretty expensive.
You mentioned stickers.
Yeah.
And that all that is just a little strip of wood to put between the boards as you stack the boards up. Just a little strip of wood. Those are called stickers.
Yep. So, if you go and watch any of my videos on the cedar, I've got several videos that show how I do that.
Ray Lawrence said between 2% and 10% is a good time to apply sanding sealer.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even carve a sign if it's less than 5 or 6%. You shouldn't even be carving a sign. So make sure you're down around 5%.
Yeah, I have carved signs at 10 or 12, and they're okay. But you have a little issue with the sawdust kind of bunches up a little bit. But anyway, so to answer your question, Richard, definitely let your pine or whatever you're going to put sanding sealer on, let it dry out, get good and dry, then put your sanding sealer on. So that's it. That's the question for tonight. So. Any questions? Anybody have questions out there?
Everybody's kind of quiet tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of a quiet crowd.
How's the weather in Alaska?
Yeah. Yeah, are we going to be able to come up and go fishing? I don't know if they're even going to be flying. How's Jimmy?
The witch says hello.
Go ahead.
He calls her the witch, says
Oh.
hello. And Bull likes this idea with the sneeze guard.
Sneeze
Renee
guard.
said they're good.
Good.
Tessa said she had a question earlier today, but now she forgot.
Forgot what the question
Oh,
is.
Frank's been working on a project. He was lining a gun safe with cedar.
Oh, that sounds great.
Wow.
Yeah. He made the guy file a disclaimer because cedar ruins your gun stock, I guess, your gun finish or something.
Really?
So he made the guy.
Oh,
Cedar.
The new website is up and running. We are still working on it, but it is functional. And it's looking good. Charlie Worcester says, I have a question for Miss Vicky. My wife just poured resin into the lettering on my growth chart. How long should I wait before sanding it? 24 to 48 hours. Don't sand it before 24 hours.
wow.
Really? Wow.
Is he hanging out in Alaska or is he living in
I
Hawaii?
imagine he went back to Hawaii, yeah.
I would think, but I think they had some cases of the COVID up where he was at.
Frank says the oil of the cedar will react with the finish on the guns over time.
Really?
He's in Hawaii.
Jimmy's back in Hawaii. Well, good. Till next year? Is that what they said?
So we have to plan a trip to Hawaii in September.
Wow.
Now,
He was in
Hawaii,
quarantine
you might
for
talk
2
me
weeks.
into going.
Wow, till next year. It must have to do with the oil thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
The price of oil and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Well,
let's ask the trivia
let's do the
question.
trivia question. Vicky, so get your Google fingers ready. Well, somebody might know this though. Well, I'm not sure which question you're going to ask. So
Jason and Kara says, can we have the nightly live back? Not like the social isolation from this week. We are doing it every day, every night live. We're just doing a Facebook live because it comes through better. Tessa, no, we don't. Ray Lawrence says, let it be known that Dave's modification video for the Palm router base is very easy to do. I just did my DeWalt 611, just waiting on my base to be delivered.
Great.
terrific.
Vicky,
I
what
got a
is the
couple of calls
smallest-
on that. Just this last week, I got a couple of calls from people that were following that video, said the same thing.
Tim, I don't know. What's the smallest the resin comes in? It depends on what kind of resin you're using and who you order it from. So there are different, I would say a quart maybe, I'm not sure. Ron Chris, can you share a link to your Amazon store? I had trouble finding it. It's on every video. There's a link to the Amazon store. Just look in the information on all the videos.
But I can tell you what it is. It's just Amazon.com/make a wood sign /shop.
Renee said they shut down the rigs on the North Slope.
Oh, okay.
Total Boat's good. That's what I use. I love Total Boat. That's
Total
my
Boat's
go-to resin right now. I like art resin too, but she should try Total Boat. It's awesome. Okay. Jason, sorry we don't have Facebook. We're getting ready. He's going to be posting the lives. You guys ready for the question?
So it's the first one Vicky sees,
The
right?
first one that I see, and it's a domestic only.
Yeah. No international.
Yes, no
As in
international,
for the
just
shipping.
domestic. So, this is for all the movie fans. This is from, let's see. This is a quote from the Steel Magnolias movie. You guys remember Steel Magnolias?
I do.
All right. No, Frank, it's not Titanic. Not Gone with the Wind. Steel Magnolias. Sally Fields, Julia Roberts. All right, so you just have to tell me what you got to finish the quote.
Oh.
No. You got to answer the question. So Truvy says she doesn't trust anyone who does what?
Who said that?
Truvy.
Was that her name? I thought it was Trudy.
Truvy.
Oh.
Trudy. One of the
Truvy
characters.
says,
Yeah.
that's Dolly, yes. What's the answer to the question? She said she doesn't trust anyone that does what? No. Truvy said she doesn't trust anyone that does what? I hear those fingers typing. Yep, Renee, good job. And Renee can't win.
Renee?
Yeah, Renee.
Yeah, she can
Sure
win.
she
All
can.
right.
Yeah,
All
absolutely
right, Renee,
she
you
can.
won. She doesn't trust anyone that does their own hair.
Did you know that?
Sure.
Truvy was Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's the one that with
She
the hair with the hairdresser.
Yep. And they were in the salon, all of them getting their hair done, and
Yeah.
Dolly says she doesn't trust anyone that does her own hair. All
I-
right,
I
Renee,
love that
you
movie.
won.
It's a great movie. What's the secondary question? What was Shelby's?
What was Shelby's occupation?
No prize for this
No
one.
prize for this.
But
just
this
out
was
of curious.
what was
curiosity.
Shelby's
This threw-
occupation?
all right. What was Shelby's? This is not for a prize. This is just
I didn't
curiosity.
know what it was. You know
What
who Shelby is?
No, she's not a hairdresser.
Julia Roberts.
Julia
Yes,
Roberts.
don't
What
answer,
was her
do
career?
not answer,
What did she do?
Don't answer.
I didn't know it.
What was her occupation? Anybody know?
I didn't.
She was a nurse.
No. But that's not completely right.
That's close though. Good thing it wasn't for a prize. Nobody heard him anyway. Well,
doesn't
yeah, they
matter.
probably did.
Don't tell. Ray Lawrence says, I know she wasn't a sign carver.
She wasn't a
She
hairdresser.
could have been. You should have seen Dolly Parton
No,
when I
Tessa?
gave her a sign. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah.
I made a really nice sign and I gave it to her on her bus. I was backstage at her show, gave it to her on a bus. And she smiled, that big, beautiful smile, and she said, well, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I said, Dolly, if that's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, you sure ain't been looking in any mirrors. And she just laughed and she said, you
What
must
kind
be,
of nurse, Bob?
she said, you must be from the South. Yeah, I thought I'd share
It
that.
doesn't matter. It's not. You're not going to win a prize. That wasn't a prize-winning question. So, she was a pediatrics nurse.
She was a pediatric nurse. I didn't know that. Anywho, guys, anything else we need to answer for you? If I don't, by the way, so many people chime in, if I don't get to your questions or your comments, I apologize. Be sure and email me directly, eric@makeawoodssign.com, and I will be sure and answer all of those questions. So that's the best way to get a hold of me. If you send me a message through Facebook, it's kind of iffy whether I actually see it or not. So email me always. So, what else?
No question.
Okay, we're out.
Okay, well, I've been wearing this
No, we're
for
not
like
out
a,
of
ha-
t-shirts.
like a, what?
I answered a question.
Oh, she was answering
I
a
was
question
answering
on
a
that.
question.
Oh, okay. I just want to say I've been wearing this now for the entire time we've been online, and it's comfortable. And even though Vicky said my voice was a little muffled,
Okay.
it's not uncomfortable at all. And it, once you get used to wearing it, I think it would be.
Yeah, I
Okay,
want to.
Renee, I can't do.
I want to start carving a sign. I want to carve a sign with it and see how it works for
I
that.
worked for about an hour in the shop this morning on the sander and the
Yeah.
and the router,
How'd it work?
and it worked fine.
Did it?
Didn't pick up any residue at all.
Okay. Renee asked me to send it to Lori Carey because she said she was the next one after Renee. When Renee, she was not the next one after you. Deanna Ginkle is actually answered after you did. So if you would like, if you don't want me to send it to you, Renee, I will send it to Deanna Ginkle because she was next before Lori. That's on my screen. That's the way it shows. So that that's the way I have to do it because that's fair.
Did you mention the fact that the reason Renee doesn't sort of qualifies because she's my daughter?
I think everybody
Okay.
knows that.
Thank you, Renee. Yes, that's what I'll do. So Deanna Ginkle, I will be sending it to you. I'm sorry, Lori. We have to do it fairly.
Okay.
Can you write down Deanna Ginkle?
Deanna
please?
Ginkle. Got it.
All right, guys. That is it. we are going to say goodnight, Gracie. You guys have a great.
So tomorrow, I just want a reminder. Tomorrow morning, so you guys know you're watching this on YouTube Live, but because of we've had issues with it, the other 5 days a week we're doing right now. We're doing it on Facebook Live. So tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, we'll be on Facebook Live. So those of you that can do that, go over and watch us on Facebook.
But you need to.
But
You're going to start posting them on.
I'm going to
YouTube.
start posting all of the Facebook Lives. I'm going to start posting those on YouTube as soon as I get my upload issues figured out. But I've got them all saved, so I am going to upload those because there's some pretty good stuff on there. So anyway, yeah, tomorrow morning we'll be on Facebook Live.
All right, you guys. So have a great weekend.
Weekend.
Because I never know. We're doing live every day.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. And yes, Dave's senior moments will be in the morning.
Yep. You'll see that first thing in the morning. No
What
doubt.
time? 9 o'clock our time, Bull. That's
noon.
what time the live is on Facebook.
Yep. That's noon Eastern time.
And I don't get up before then anyway.
All right, so good night, you guys.
Good night, guys. See you in the morning.